Rama Katha story. Okay? You all know how to chant Hare Krishna?
Yes.
You all know the Mahamantra? Okay, you can repeat after me.
Yes.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
One more time, you all can close your eyes nicely, fold your hands, think of Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, and then say Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Very good. So we are going to discuss and we're going to have a storytelling today, mostly about Lord Rama. So if anybody says that they're going to tell you a story, that too from scriptures, you should ask, from where are you talking? From which book are you saying this? In that way, you will save yourself from hearing from wrong sources, because there are some people who can twist the story and put their own interpretations. So when you are listening to, you should check. When you are reading a book, you should check who is the author. And especially when we are doing with scriptures, we should always check who is the author, from where this author is writing the translations. Does he come from a school? There are different schools in spiritual study also. So this one we all should ask. So for you all, before you all ask me, I will tell today's my presentation is from Valmiki Ramayana. There are different Ramayans. People have translated, different devotees, authors have translated. Whatever right now I am going to tell the story is from Valmiki Ramayana and also from Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto. There are 2 chapters about Lord Rama. Of course, there are more chapters about him before that, but specifically about Rama, 2 chapters. So today I'm going to focus from both of them and speak. So what is the scripture that we are going to, which has the story of Lord Rama? It is called Ramayana, Srimad Ramayana. Okay. So if you tell to anybody Lord Rama's story, and you should tell that I am telling this story from Valmiki Ramayana. And who is Valmiki? Valmiki is a rishi, a sage. He wrote Ramayana. So did Valmiki wrote Ramayana after everything happened, or was he present when Ramayana is happening? What do you think, Manhar? You nodded your head. For what are you nodding your head? Like
when the Ramayana
when the Ramayana was completed, do you think that that's when he wrote the whole Ramayana story?
Yeah.
Tejas also thinks that. But that is not the case. Valmiki was present at the time when Lord Rama was ruling Ayodhya. And it was written at the same time. Valmiki did not write Ramayana after everything happened. He wrote it when it was happening, when Lord Rama was there on the earth. Okay, is that clear? Now we will know. So this is few details about Ramayana. When you talk, you all should know. Who is the author of Ramayana?
Valmiki.
Valmiki Rishi. So who is the author of Srimad Bhagavatam? Who is author of Srimad Bhagavatam?
Vyasadeva.
Veda Vyas, yes. So Vyasadeva liked Ramayana so much. He is the author of all the Vedas. He is the author of all the Puranas. So in every Purana, you will find a mention about Lord Rama. But Veda Vyas did not write Ramayana. Who wrote Ramayana? Valmiki Rishi wrote Ramayana. And how many verses are there in Ramayana? Can anybody?
24,000.
24,000 verses are there in Ramayana. And it has been written as a poetry. Like, do you all know the poetry? Poet? Did you poets? Do you all know? Did you all ever read any poetry? English
Yes, Master.
poetry or something? So Ramayana is written as a poetry. So it is very, very beautiful. It has a different meter. So for telling every sloka, we have to tell it in a particular way. And mostly Ramayana is sung. They sing all the shlokas of the Ramayana. Even today, there are many places where they sing Ramayana. So Ramayana has that meter in which it can be nicely fit into a song. Of course, I don't know how to sing, but Ramayana is sung like that. And Ramayana is not mythology. What does that mean? It is not some fictitious story. So if you all, do you all read fictions? Do you all read English fictions?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
those are all what do you mean by a fiction? Fiction means it has not
Fiction is
happened.
something that
It's not real.
Yeah, it's not
It's
real.
not real. Non-fiction is real.
Yeah, non-fiction is real. Fiction is not real. It is some
Fiction
the
is
authors
something made up.
It's not a
something
myth.
made up. The author makes up, right? The author makes a character like Harry Potter and all. The author makes up that character and he.
Yeah.
But Ramayana is not like that. Ramayana is not mythology. Ramayana is not a fiction. Ramayana has happened in Treta Yuga. It has happened. So when anybody comes and tells you that, oh, Ramayana, Mahabharata, everything is a mythology, you should say, no, it is not a mythology. It's not a myth. It has happened. And Ramayana is so famous that it has been translated into many languages. Even though it has happened in India, it has been translated into many languages all over the world. In different languages, we can see Ramayana. And many rishis later after Valmiki also wrote Ramayana, but Valmiki's Ramayana is more authenticated source. And today we are going to learn from that. And chanting of Valmiki Ramayana is considered as good as chanting mantra. That's why even today is Ram Navami, right? From 9 days before, in some families, they sing Ramayana every day, all these 9 days, and they conclude it today. And how many cantos does Ramayana have? So when you are knowing about any scripture, when you are learning, when you are reading, you should know all these details. Ramayana has actually 7 cantos, but only 6 cantos are recited. One is, can you all repeat after me? Balakanda,
Balakanda,
Ayodhya Kanda,
Ayodhya
Ayodhya Kanda.
Aranya Kanda,
Aranya Kanda.
Kishkinda Kanda,
Kishkinda Kanda,
Sundara Kanda,
Sundara.
Yuddha Kanda.
Kanda.
So generally people recite all the shlokas from these 6 cantos, and then the Uttara Kanda is after the war between Ravana and Rama. So they don't generally recite that, but that canto is also there where we can see that Shatrughna kills a demon, very important demon, and what happened after the war. So now let's go to the story. So who is Ramachandra? Lord Ramachandra looks like he came as a human being to this world, but is he a human being? No. Lord Ramachandra is not a mythical figure or an ordinary person, or even a very great human being. If let's say you see somebody who donated everything, or somebody who is very generous, or somebody who is very strong, we will say that, oh, he is very, very great human being. So Lord Ramachandra is not even like that. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source, maintainer, and controller of uncountable universes, both spiritual and mundane. So by now you all know, because you all are reading Bhagavatam, that there are 2 worlds. One is the spiritual world and one is the material world. And there are so many material universes. And Lord Ramachandra is the master controller of all these universes. But he has come as a human being in a day of Brahma. As the super soul, he is present in every atom and in the heart of every living being. He knows everything past, present, and future. So any of you know what is future? Does any of you know future? Because we all are also human beings.
No.
Do you know what is going to happen in future?
No, but I can predict.
Yeah, we can predict, but the predictions should come true, right? Then only it happens that you know the future, right? But Lord Ramachandra knows past, present, future exactly, correctly what it happens. It's not even a prediction. He knows what happens. So that means he is not even a great human being. He is a supreme personality of Godhead. Ramachandra, being an expansion of Krishna, the original form of the personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, after, what do you think? After 11,000 years he ruled the Ayodhya, do you all think Ramachandra suddenly disappeared?
No.
What do you all think?
No.
What is the guess?
Maybe no. No.
He goes back to his spiritual world. When Ramachandra comes down from his spiritual world, he does his pastimes and then he goes back to his spiritual world. And even today, there is a planet in the spiritual world and Lord Ramachandra lives there, or he might be doing Ramayana in some other universe. So these are all about Lord Ramachandra. Now let's go to Valmiki. How does actually Valmiki started writing Ramayana? How suddenly Valmiki thought of writing Ramayana? So we all know Valmiki is a great Rishi, a sage who meditates upon the Supreme Lord, and he has a lot of disciples. With them, he always discusses spiritual matters. So one day when he was discussing like that, Narada Muni, you all know Narada Muni, right? He travels both in the spiritual and material worlds. Wherever he wants, he can go. And one day, Narada Muni came to Valmiki Rishi's ashrama. Then Valmiki Rishi asked Narada Muni, Narada, can I know if there is anyone present now on the earth who is, can you all read one by one quality listed here?
Ramayana.
Now this one, I want the reservoir of all opulence. Each of you take turn and just read one quality.
Okay, the reservoir of all opulence.
Okay, next. Tejas. I see your camera. Okay.
Learned.
Okay. Yashika, he missed the second one. What is that?
Powerful. The most accomplishment.
Okay. Mihika.
Powerful.
Okay. Myra.
Can you repeat the question?
Can you read this, Myra? Do you see my arrow? Can you read
Yes.
that? What is that says here?
Your screen is glitching.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, now it's good. Now it's good. Noble-minded.
Okay, Lakshmi. What is next after noble-minded?
Lakshmi or Chariot?
Truthful.
Truthful. Okay. Okay. Who else?
Chariot.
Manhar. What is after truthful?
Grateful.
Charith. What is after grateful?
Possesses flawless character.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to? Joshna. What is after that?
Remains engaged.
Okay. Who is Priyanka? Anyone else who wants to read after that? Kushi? Janu? Okay, Janu has raised hand. Janu?
Looks after genuine welfare of all living
Entities. Very good. Govinda, you have already read, so let me give a chance to someone else.
I can do the next one.
Yeah, no, there are only 16, so let me give chance to all the kids because you have already read. So anyone else?
Unique, no one is equal to him.
Very good.
Can
Okay,
I?
who else? Okay,
Can
go
I?
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, where never gets anger.
Okay, so unique, nobody is equal to him is read. So what is next that?
Cleverest.
Cleverest. Okay. Okay, who wants to go next? Janu, you have just read, so let's give a chance to someone.
Beautiful. Never gets injured or.
Okay. And then what's next? Most beautiful. Never gets anger or malice. Bhuvanesh and Netra, can you read the after never gets anger? Bhuvanesh and Netra, you have raised. So Bhuvanesh and Netra, can you read what is there? Gives, that one?
Gives protection to everyone in 3 worlds.
Okay, last one, who wants to read? Those who did not read yet. Those who did not read yet.
Me.
So I want, okay, go ahead. Dia, go ahead. Goddess of?
Goddess of
Fortune.
Bestowed?
Bestowed all blessings.
Very good. So did anybody count how many qualities are there? 16 qualities. So what did Valmiki Muni asked? Valmiki Muni asked Narada Muni, is there anybody who is reservoir of all uplands? That means he has all the richness in this world, who is most accomplished. Anybody he touches, he wins it. Learned, powerful, noble-minded, truthful, grateful, possesses flawless character. That means he can never go wrong. Remains engaged, looks after genuine welfare of everybody, not just his friends, even foes. Unique, nobody is equal to him. Cleverest, most beautiful, never gets anger or malice, gives protection to everyone in the 3 worlds. Goddess of fortune, bestowed all blessings. Who do you think Narad Muni will answer? Who do you think?
Ramachandra.
Who do you think Narad Muni will say? Ramachandra. So you all are right. So Narad Muni said, why not Valmiki Muni? There is one person who is right now ruling this kingdom, ruling this whole world. He is King Lord Ramachandra. There is no sorrowness in his kingdom. Everybody is so happy. Everybody is very helping to each other. Everybody are so nice. So there is a king called Lord Rama who fits all these 16 qualities. There is nobody else. So this is another proof that Valmiki was a contemporary. That means Valmiki was living at the time when Lord Rama was there, and then that's when he wrote. Then how come Valmiki know all the stories that happened from the childhood of Lord Rama? That we have to find out. Now that is the mystery, right? How come he know? Because I don't know what happened in the life of any one of you. How does you all look when you are small? I am sitting here somewhere else and you are somewhere else. But how does Valmiki know that? Valmiki came to know about Lord Rama just now. But how does he know all the details about Lord Rama? So let's find out how does Valmiki know. So after that, Narada explained to Valmiki that he briefly explained about Lord Rama, his qualities and all, and Narada Muni went back to the spiritual world. Valmiki Muni with his disciples, Bharadwaja and some, he went to the Tamasa river and he was meditating there. Because the sages, they go every day to the river, they take bath there, they offer the water oblations to the sun god, they sit down there and they meditate. One day he was meditating like that. And what did he see? He see 2 birds on a tree. They were very happy, nicely singing the songs and all. And suddenly a hunter shoot an arrow and it hit the male bird and the male bird died. And the female she-bird was so sad. Just 1 minute before it was so happy singing nice songs, and suddenly her friend died, her husband died, and then she's so sad and she started crying. Valmiki Muni became very angry looking at the hunter, and he spoke some words in anger and he cursed the hunter. After cursing the hunter, Valmiki Muni got surprised because the sage is supposed to be composed. He should not come under the influence of anger. But here what happened? Valmiki Muni got anger and he also cursed. And later he looked at the curse and he said, oh, this looks like a sloka. This doesn't look like a curse. What happened to me? How did I say this sloka? He also noticed that he's saying it in a nice singing way. So Valmiki Muni got surprised. And then what happened then? Then Valmiki Muni took bath and he went back to his ashram. That's when Lord Brahma came, and Valmiki Muni was feeling very, very sad for cursing that hunter. He's like, I'm a sage. I'm supposed to be composed. I'm supposed to be peaceful. I should not be cursing somebody, but I have cursed him. Then Lord Brahma came to his house, his ashrama, and told Valmiki, you don't need to worry. The shloka that you have said, you told because those are my words. That is my blessing that you are able to tell that sloka in such a poetic manner, and it exactly fits as the first sloka of Ramayana. And he said, I am going to bless you and I am going to tell you all the details of Lord Rama's life. Now I want you to write Ramayana. That's how Valmiki know everything about Lord Rama's childhood, what happened next, how did he marry Mother Sita, what happened next and next and next. And like Valmiki envisioned in his heart, after that Valmiki Muni did lot of austerities and penances, and he envisioned in his heart all the events of Lord Rama's appearance. So all of you, if you hear this story now nicely, when you go to bed tonight, and when you close your eyes, you take little time to sleep, right? Not immediately you'll sleep, and you may ask for bedtime stories or you may read to bedtime books. Today just try to think, what did Mataji said, what did she say, what happened next, what happened next, what happened next, like that. Think in your mind, and then you will also envision in your heart all the things that you have heard about Lord Rama. And what does that do, Mataji? That helps us to clean our heart and makes us more and more better person. And we will be able to see Lord Rama in our heart. Then we will be very happy. So this is the benefit of listening to the stories, that we have to go back and remember the story again. So he teaches to, so in his ashram, he has two cute little twin boys, Lava and Kusha, who are none other than Lord Rama's kids. And these two twins are very learned. They are very powerful. They are very heroic. They know all. They have learned about how to shoot the arrows. They can sing nicely. They learned about all the scriptures. So in those days, not like today, where we have to go and read the book, and after closing the book, we forget what we read. But these two boys have memorized all the 24,000 slokas which Valmiki Muni has written. They memorized everything nicely in tune. And what they used to do, by accepting the order of Valmiki Muni, they used to go to every city and town and sing Ramayana. And people used to feel so happy. They used to come and bless them. They used to come and give gifts to them. Like that, they used to sing. And people used to fully absorb. When these two kids are telling Ramayana, they all used to forget everything around. And do you also know that when we speak Ramayana, the Devi Devatas, everybody comes and dances. We may not be able to see them because our eyes are not sufficient or capable enough to see them. But when we are sincerely reciting Ramayana or Bhagavatam or anything about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the first listeners are Devi Devatas, the demigods. They love it so much because Lord Rama has come to protect them. He has taken the form to protect them. So one day when Lava and Kusa are going town and town to recite Ramayana, what did happen? They went to Lord Rama's place also. When they went to Lord Rama's place, they started reciting Ramayana in the court of Rama. And Rama, when he is listening to his own story, he got so mesmerized that slowly from his throne, he started going down and he went and sit next to Lava and Kusha, and he was listening like this. He was putting and he was listening to his own story like this. So Lord Rama likes so much to listen to his own story. So when we read or when we tell somebody Rama's story, tomorrow if you all tell to your parents or to your siblings or to your uncles or aunts about this story, Lord Rama likes it very, very much. So the kids, Lava and Kusha, started telling Ramayana. So the actual Ramayana starts now. So they say there is a king called Dasratha, Maharaj Dasratha. He is very rich. There is nobody who is upland than him. He has no enemies. But after having everything, the king is very, very unhappy. He's not at all happy. When once Vasistha and all the sages come to see him in his courtyard, Dasrath Maharaj was very, very sad. When they asked him, he said that, I don't have a son. So I am thinking of doing a horse sacrifice to beget a son. Then they all said, usually the kings, they don't do whatever they think. You always have ministers, they take the advice of the sages, they take approval, and then they do. So somebody who is in an administration tomorrow, when you all become big managers or when you have your own businesses or anything, you should definitely have somebody next to you who can tell you what is right, what is wrong. It is not always that you will be right, because when you are upland, when you are successful, when you are rich, when you are beautiful, sometimes you may do mistake. So you should always have ministers to tell you what is right and what is wrong. Similarly, Dasarath Maharaj took the advice of the sages and he decided to do the horse sacrifice. Then he has a minister called Sumantra. Sumantra told him, Maharaj, long back I heard from Sanat Kumar that you are going to beget 4 beautiful sons. For that, you need to have Rishyasringa to do the horse sacrifice. It is not that anybody, so if I come and say that, okay, Mihika, I will do the sacrifice, Mihika should not allow me. She has to find a right person to do the right sacrifice, because when sacrifices happen, when fire sacrifices happen, the Devi Devatas, they all come and stay there, and they should get pleased. With whom they will get pleased? With somebody who knows how to do it rightly, who has austerities, who has done a lot of austerities, who follows the regulative principles, who keeps the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his heart. So then he tells that you have to go and ask your friend Romapada about Rishyasringa. Rishyasringa is his son-in-law, and Shanta, who is your daughter, you have given her to adoption to Ramapada, and he married her to Rishyasringa. And Rishyasringa is the right person to do this fire sacrifice for you to get your benefit. So then Dasarath Maharaj goes to his friend Ramapada, stays there for some time, and talks and asks permission and tells that, can I take Rishyasringa to perform horse sacrifice? Rishyasringa comes to know that Shanta is actually his daughter, but he has given her to adoption to Romapada, and he agrees to perform the fire sacrifice. So that's how Maharaj Dasrath performs fire sacrifice, and the disciple and the servants of Lord Vishnu gets pleased, and they come and they give him a pot of sweet rice. And this sweet rice, Maharaj Dasratha distributes it to his 3 wives, Kausalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra. How many wives he has? Kausalya, 3 important wives. 3 important wives. Even though he has 360 wives, these 3 are very, very important wives. Kausalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra. And he distributes this sweet rice among these 3. And what happens next? What happens next? Kausalya gives birth to Lord Rama, and Kaikeya gives birth to Bharata. Sumitra gives birth to Lakshmana and Shatrughna. That is the order. Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. So are these 4 different people? No. In Bhagavatam, 9th canto, the 4th chapter, it is mentioned that being prayed. Can somebody read this highlighted one here? Okay, go ahead.
In Manhar?
After Mihika, next Manhar, when there is a turn, I will give you, and Janu also I'll give. Okay, go ahead, Mihika.
Being prayed for by the demigod.
And Govinda.
Okay, Govinda also. Okay, go ahead, Mihika.
Being prayed for by the demigods, the supreme personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, himself directly appeared with his expansion and expansions of the expansion. Their holy names were Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan. These celebrated incarnations thus appeared in 4 arms as the sons of Maharaj Dasharatha.
So these are all Vishnu Tattvas. Lord Krishna himself expanded into 4 and became Bharata, Shatrugna, and Lakshmana. They are not. Okay, Joshna, do you have some question? Or
Oh no, I wanted to also read it after.
Okay, sure. I have the sequence. I will definitely say to read. So these Rama, Lakshmana, Shatrugna, we are Vishnu Tattvas. And what are we? We are Jiva Tattvas. We are all souls. Even though both look like human beings, they are different. We are different. So if anybody comes and says, oh, Rama is human being and you are also human being, then we should say, no, Rama is Vishnu Tattva and I am Jiva Tattva. So we have to know this one. So now all 4 of them were born. But what happened? Lakshmana is always very close to Rama. Whenever Sumitra takes him to his home, he used to cry. And whenever she brings him and puts next to Lord Rama, he used to be very, very happy. So always Rama and Lakshmana used to be together, and Bharata and Shatrugna used to be together. And Rama always stands for righteousness. Whatever Lord Rama has done, it is right. Those people who don't know about the scriptures, who have not learned from the spiritual masters, they find faults in Rama's actions. But whatever Rama has done is right. Rama is personification, like he stands for dharma. Rama means dharma, means righteous thing. Whatever Rama does is right. Sometimes we may not understand that. So we have to learn, we have to ask spiritual masters and know, oh, why did Lord Rama do like this? Can you explain to me? Like that we should ask. But we should not pass a judgment saying that this is wrong what Lord Rama has done. Okay. So here Lord Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana and Shatrugna are born. And what happened next? Manhar, you want to read the first paragraph?
Like the first paragraph.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Lord Rama ordered the demigods to beget partial manifestations of yourselves to assist Lord Vishnu in his forthcoming incarnation.
So Lord Brahma knows that there is a demon called Ravana, and he pleased him and he took a boon that he will not die. And he gave 2 exceptions. What are those 2? Humans and monkeys. So Ravana thought that, oh, these 2 people can never become so strong that they can kill me. So he skipped human beings and monkeys. So Brahma knows this. So what did Brahma do? Brahma went back to the higher planets and he told all the Devi Devtas. So Lord Rama is going to appear. So you all have to appear so that later you both are going to unite and kill Ravana. So he told all the Devi Devatas to go and beget children. And they got 3 kind of created beings. They got monkeys, they got bears, and monkeys with long tails like cows. So around 10 million monkeys, bears, and monkeys with long tails are born. And Indra got Vali, Surya got Sugriva, Brahaspati got Tara, Kuvera begot Gandhamada, and Vishwakarma got Nala. So these are all great, heroic, powerful monkey kings who were all born at the same time as Lord Rama, because they all later have to assist Lord Rama in his mission to kill Ravana. So this happened at the same time. We'll go next. So Janu, can you read the first paragraph? I remember you were in the sequence. After that, Govinda and Joshna. Okay, Janu. Janu?
Wait, is it okay if I ask a question?
Who is that?
Parth.
Okay, Parth. Okay, you can ask. If it is quick, I will answer. Otherwise, I'll answer it in the end. Go ahead.
It's pretty small. What is like a demigod?
Demigod is like a devata. They are also jivas. They are also like us. Even we can become devatas. If we do that much fruitive activities, we will have certain kinds of powers, and we will also be ruling this material world, because the Devi Devas are all ministers in Krishna's kingdom. So they can take care, like Varuna, Indra. Varuna takes care of the rain. Vayu takes care of the air. So it is like post. So you also can become one if you do enough fruitive activities, so that you all can help the Devi Devatas help in the administration of this material universe. Is that good, Partha? Parth?
Yeah, that's correct. Thanks for answering my question.
You're welcome. Okay, Janu, go ahead. First paragraph.
Okay. One day, Vishnu.
Okay, go ahead. That's okay. Go ahead.
One day, Vishwamitra arrived in Ayodhya, and receiving respects from all in assembly, he asked Maharaj Dasratha to send Lord Rama to his asrama to protect the fire sacrifice he is going to perform.
So far we have heard about Valmiki Muni, and then Narada Muni and Vasishtha Muni. And there is one more now coming, Vishwamitra. So Vishwamitra is also a great sage. So once he comes to Maharaj Dasratha's kingdom, and then he asked Maharaj Dashratha to send Rama with him, so that he is performing a fire sacrifice and Rama can protect. By then Rama has become 16-year-old, and he has learned everything by going to the school, all the archery, all the scriptures and all. But there is still something he has to learn. What is that? That Vishwamitra is going to teach him now. So Vishwamitra comes and asks Maharaj Dasrath to send Lord Rama with him. And then Dasrath asks, okay, can I know why you want Lord Rama to come? Then Vishwamitra says, there are two demons, Marichi and Subahu, and Tataka. These people are disturbing my fire sacrifice and putting all kinds of nonsense things in the fire sacrifice. Fire sacrifice should be protected divinely, and we should offer the things that the Devi Devatas can take, but not like stool, blood, meat and all. And these Rakshasas, they are doing this. So I want Lord Rama to come and fight with them and protect my sacrifice. And then he says, who are these monsters actually? Who are these demons? Then Vishwamitra says, did you heard about Ravana? Actually, these two are coming from his kingdom. Hearing the name of Ravana, Maharaj Dasratha becomes very, very terrified, and he feels scared, and he said, oh, my son is just 16-year-old. I cannot send him. Vishwamitra, can I come with my army, and can I protect your fire sacrifice? Then Vishwamitra gets very angry. You said that you will do whatever I ask, and now you're not keeping your word. And Vishwamitra gets angry, and the whole earth starts shaking. Devi Devatas become afraid. Then Vasishtha Muni, he convinces Maharaj Dasratha that, Maharaj Dasratha, what are you thinking? Vishwamitra is capable of killing those demons, but still he is asking your son to take with him. That means he has so many weapons that nobody else have, and he knows so many mantras which will be useful for Lord Rama when he grows and when he has to fight. So send Lord Rama with Vishwamitra, and he is going to learn. So can I ask you all a question? So let's say tomorrow is exam. Do you all start reading tonight, or you start reading every day before that itself?
Every day before.
Every day. Because you cannot start preparing for the war on the day the war comes. Then you will be weak. You have to be prepared from before. You have to be ready at any time. So similarly, Vishwamitra is going to bless Lord Rama and teach the things that he does not know. That's why, and we should know how Lord Rama, even though he is a supreme personality of Godhead, how he shows by an example that he is a good student. He is very humble. When he asks questions, he is not arrogant, because Lord Rama is king. He has everything in this entire world. He is opulent, but still he goes and accompanies Vishwamitra, walks with him on barefoot, sleeps wherever Vishwamitra tells him to sleep. But he doesn't say, no, 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 I want my bed in my house. I want my mom. I want my father. Like that, Lord Rama didn't say. Lord Rama accompanied Vishwamitra, took all the hardships and learned. Similarly, all of you have to go to hardships when you are learning. You have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice certain things, and then you have to learn. Without that, you won't be learning. You cannot say that, oh, I will play whole day. Then you will be tired. You won't have time to study. You don't have time to learn. So certain things you have to sacrifice, because you know that you are going to prepare yourself for something good in the future. So now Lord Rama goes with Vishwamitra. Lakshmana also follows him, because Lakshmana never stays away without Rama. So Vishwamitra takes Rama and Lakshmana and goes to the place where the fire sacrifice is performed. And there comes, when the fire sacrifice is happening, there comes the monster Tataka. So Tataka has a son called Marichi and also Subahu. So Marichi and Subahu are male Rakshasas, and Tataka is a female Rakshasa. Tataka was not a Rakshasa before, actually. She was a powerful woman. But then her husband Sunda troubles sage Agastya, and then Agastya kills Sunda. And then when Sunda gets killed, Tataki and Marichi starts attacking Agastya, and Agastya curses her to become a Rakshasa. So from then she becomes Rakshasa. And now when Vishwamitra is doing this yajna, Tataki and then Subahu and Maricha, they all come to disturb the yajna. Lord Rama first hesitates to kill Tataki, because he thinks that, oh, she's a woman. So Lord Rama always, he doesn't immediately act in anger or anything. He thinks before acting. He thinks whether I'm doing it right or wrong, because he should not be killing a woman. So he kind of hesitates. Then when we have confusing situations like this, who is that we have to ask for? Spiritual master. So then Vishwamitra tells Rama that, no, she is a very, very dangerous and powerful demon. There is no other way other than killing her. So you should not consider her that she is a woman. She is not capable like that. She is capable of destroying so much things, and she is not good for the fire sacrifice that is happening here. So without hesitating, Rama, please kill Tataka. Then immediately Rama shoots an arrow and kills Tataka and also Subahu, but wounds Maricha. He does not kill Maricha. So remember Maricha's name. He is going to come back again in the story. And then now we'll go to the next one. So I have Joshna. Can you read?
Yes.
Mataji, I have a question.
Govinda,
Okay.
Govinda's next.
Okay, Govinda, can you go after Joshna?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go, Joshna, can you read the first three paragraphs?
Can I
Janu,
go after?
Janu, I will take your question after this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Joshna.
O king, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra were wonderful, like those of a baby elephant.
Go ahead and read the next two. Joshna, can you read the next two paragraphs?
I wasn't able to unmute, sorry. In the assembly where Mother Sita was to choose her husband during the heroes of this world, he broke the bow belonging to Lord Shiva. This bow was so heavy that it was carried by 300 men, but Lord Ramachandra bent and strung it and broke it in the middle, just as a baby elephant breaks a stick of sugar cane.
Very good. So after killing the demons, Vishwamitra and all the sages were going to Janaka Maharaja's place. So Lord Rama also accompanies, Rama and Lakshmana also accompanies along with Vishwamitra to there. And on their way, they all will say that, Janaka Maharaj has a bow which is blessed to Devatas by Lord Shiva, and they gave it to Janaka Maharaj, and it is very, very heavy. So we are going to see that. So they all talk about that, and then they all together go to the place where Janaka Maharaj is ruling, Mithila. It is called Mithila. And here comes Mother Sita. So Mother Sita is not born as a human being. When Janaka Maharaj was plowing the land to perform an yajna, so before performing an yajna, they will go and test whether that land is suitable to do yajna or not by plowing it. So when he was doing like that, Mother Sita comes up from the earth and she tells that I am Sita. Because Sita is found by Janaka Maharaj, he accepts her as a daughter and takes her home and raises her. And in Janaka Maharaj kingdom, they have this big, huge bow. And he sees that one day, Mother Sita just moves that very easily with one hand. And he gets surprised. This bow cannot be moved by one person. I always needed 300 people to carry this. So it means that Mother Sita is not an ordinary human being. She is the internal potency, Haladini Shakti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So only somebody.
Mataji,
Yes.
Sita is Radharani.
An expansion of Radharani. Yes. Okay. Janu, you have a question? I will take your question after this. Okay. So,
Okay.
So then Janaka Maharaj thinks that, so there should be somebody great who can break this bow only should marry Mother Sita. So from then so many heroes come, so many kings come. Nobody cannot even lift that bow. So Janaka Maharaj decides that whoever breaks this bow, with that person only I'm going to get Sita married. So when Rama, Lakshmana, Vishwamitra and all reach the Mithila city, they all will ask Janaka Maharaj to show the bow. Then he tells, okay, because these two are Kshatriya kings, I will show the bow, but if they lift it, or if they will, after lifting, if they break that, then they have to marry my daughter. That is the condition. So if they are okay for that condition, they can touch the bow. Then, because Lord Rama is a Kshatriya, and he wanted to see that bow, and Lord Rama lifts the bow with one hand, and he is able to put it for shooting, and he will break the bow. And then Janaka Maharaj understood that Lord Rama is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is the right person to marry Mother Sita. And they sent a messenger to the kingdom of Ayodhya to call Dasratha and his wives. And when they all come to Mithila city, then all the adults, they decide that they are going to get Rama and Sita married, and similarly Mother Sita's sisters marry Lord Rama's brothers. So in that way, Lord Rama and Mother Sita gets married. So Janu, what is your question?
For the demons, why doesn't he also kill the other son?
The Marichi, right? Marichi, he didn't kill Marichi because after wounding him, he went back. He left the place and he went. That's why he didn't kill Marichi. Because the other two demons were keep on coming and troubling the fire sacrifice. So Lord Rama does everything right. First, he wounded him. When Marichi got wounded, he left the place, actually. Marichi leaves the place. That's why he did not kill Marichi. But Subahu and Tataka, they came back and they started attacking. So that's why he killed them. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, Govinda, can you go? And I see Dia texting me that she wants to go next. So after Govinda, Dia, it's your turn. Okay? So Govinda, can you read the last paragraph?
While returning from Sita home, Arthur training her at the assembly for complete Lord Ramachandra met Parsuram.
Lord Ramachandra met Parshuram. Okay. So, Diya, can you go next?
Although
Parshuram.
was very proud, having rid the earth of the royal order 21 times, he was defeated by the Lord, who appeared to be a Kshatriya of the royal order.
So, if you all remember in the Chaitanya Charitamrita class, I said that there are different kinds of avatars. And Parashurama is the Sakti Avesha avatara. That means the Supreme Personality of Godhead has empowered, has given him some power to kill all the Kshatriyas who are very, very mean. But he got angry because Lord Rama has broken the bow of Lord Shiva, gifted by Lord Shiva. So he comes and attacks Rama, but Rama very easily defeats Parshurama. So this is the story here, and I see that it is already 5:56. Maybe I will consult Priyanka Mataji. Mataji, what do you want me to do? Teach them the shloka and continue for the next session, the next story I have for them. To tell the next story. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So whatever you like, Mataji, you can read, Mataji.
So I don't know how much time I can teach a sloka on this day for all of them.
Yes, Mataji, time. There is no problem in time.
Please teach cut.
Who is that? So what does the kids want? Story or sloka also? We have to read.
Story.
Okay.
Yes, you as usual like stories.
Okay. So let's go. Let's continue. What happened? So I will briefly tell the remaining story also. Okay. I have to stop at 6:30, but before that I will do the story, next story, because I have another program, but I will continue and tell the story because I got this story for all of you. So now what happened? Lord Rama and Lord Mother Sita got married. They are all so happy and they all went back to Ayodhya. And after that, Maharaj Dashrath has become already very, very old. And someday, one night, Maharaj Dashrath felt that he's not going to live any longer. Janu, is that a question you have? Janu, is that a question? Can I take your question later and continue my story?
Oh, I forgot to put my hand down.
Yeah, Lakshmi, I saw your message. You can read next, Kanna. I'll just go there to the next slide after telling the story. So then Maharaj Dashrath decided that I am becoming old and Lord Rama is my eldest son. And because Maharaj Dashrath wanted a son to continue his dynasty and who can rule the country like how he has ruled. And now it is the time for Lord Rama to take the responsibilities of Maharaj Dashrath, because Maharaj Dashrath is getting old and Maharaj Dashrath is feeling that he will not be able to take the responsibilities of kingdom anymore. So he is thinking like that. And then one day he calls Lord Rama and says that actually Bharata and Shatrughna has went to their grandmother's place, maternal grandmother's place. They go to their maternal grandmother's place because they both went to the maternal grandmother's place. And then because always Bharata and Shatrughna are together. So even though it was the maternal grandmother of Bharata, even Shatrughna went along with him. So only Lakshmana and Rama were there, and Maharaj Dashrath felt that, oh, I should not wait until they come back, because I think that I'm not going to live longer, and I should coronate Lord Rama as the king of Ayodhya. So he calls Lord Rama and he tells him that, so tomorrow I'm going to do a coronation ceremony and I'm going to make you the king of Ayodhya. And then whole Ayodhya becomes very happy. They all love Lord Rama so much. They all were so happy. There were so much festive celebrations happening. The streets of the Ayodhya are decorated. Everybody is preparing for the festival. And then there is one person who did not like this decision. Who is that? Let's see. So Lakshmi, can you read that?
Carrying out the order his father, who was bound by a promise to his wife, Lord Ramachandra left behind his kingdom, opulence, friends, well-wishers, residence, and everything else, just as
Oh.
liberated soul gives up his life and went to the forest with Sita.
So pay attention to the pictures I have. So she is Mandara. So she is a maid servant of Kaikeyi, who came along with Kaikeyi from the time Kaikeyi got married to Maharaj Dashratha. So she always thinks about herself, her interest. Because Kaikeyi, even though the second wife of Maharaj Dashrath, she is very dear to Maharaj. So Kaikeyi always used to have a higher place. And because Kaikeyi has a higher place, this maid servant Mandara also have a higher place. She always goes around saying that I am Kaikeyi's maid servant, and everybody used to give her a lot of respect. Now she gets scared that if Lord Rama becomes the king, then Kausalya becomes very great, and nobody will respect her. So she has a ill intention in her mind, and she goes to Kaikeyi. Until then, Kaikeyi is very dear. Kaikeyi loves Lord Rama so much, and she is also very happy that Lord Rama is going to become king. And then, but what? Kaikeyi for a second listens to this woman who is trying to tell bad to her. So we really, all of us has to be very, very careful. When somebody is coming and telling us some bad things about someone else, the first thing we have to do is we have to go and question directly that person instead of assuming something. So now what happened? Mandara comes and kind of instigates Kaikeyi that, oh, you will not have any value once Lord Rama becomes the king. Nobody will care for Bharata. And why is Dasrath Maharaj making Lord Rama king when Bharata is not around? Because Bharata is very powerful and may take over the place. That's why he's quickly doing this. And Bharata can never become the king because after Lord Rama's sons will become the king. So you have to go and ask Maharaj Dasrath to make Bharata as the king. And also at the same time, you have to ask that to send Lord Rama to the forest. Because if Lord Rama lives here in the same place and Bharat becomes the king, all the citizens of Ayodhya doesn't like that. They all love Lord Rama and they all revolt against Bharata, and again Lord Rama may become king. If Lord Rama is not in this place and Bharata becomes the king for the next 14 years, if Bharata rules it very nicely, then all the citizens will start loving him. And then when Rama comes back after the 14 years, nobody will remember Lord Rama and they will all forget Lord Rama, and Bharat becomes their favorite king. In that way, both the purposes will be fulfilled. So you should go and ask. And she reminds Kaikeyi that, do you remember? Maharaj Dasratha said that he will give you 2 benedictions at any time you ask. And Mandara says, this is the time you should ask. You go and ask Maharaj Dasratha that you want 2 boons. First one, to make Bharata as the king, and second one, to send Lord Rama to the forest for 14 years. Then Kaikeyi prepares for that. She gets influenced by Mandara because she feeds in her head that she has to do that. And Kaikeyi thinks that she's doing it right. She never ever thinks that she is doing something wrong. She's going to bring big calamity in the Ayodhya. She never thinks all those things. And then she removes all her jewelry. She starts crying on the bed. And then what happens? Maharaj Dashrath comes and asks her, what happened, Kaikeyi? Why are you so sad? And then she tells him that she has to send Lord Rama to the Vanavas, and then she has to make Bharata as the king. Maharaj Dashratha listening to this faints, because Maharaj Dashratha never wants to leave his son Lord Rama. He is very, very dear to him, and he cannot say no to his wife now, because he had already promised her that he will fulfill 2 of her desires, and now is the time when she asked, he cannot go back. Then Maharaj Dasrath calls Lord Rama and tells him about the situation, and also tells him, you can always arrest me, put me in the jail, and you don't need to fulfill this desire. You can easily say no to me. You don't need to go to the forest. You don't need to do anything. You can always arrest me. But Lord Rama is not like that. Whatever Lord Rama does, he always do the right thing. He says that, no, you have to keep your promise, and I will fulfill Mother Kaikeyi's desire. She is also like my mother. And Lord Rama prepares himself to go to the forest. Lakshmana, Mother Sita, also accompanies him, and Lord Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, Mother Sita, the very next day, when he is supposed to become king, leaves all his opulences, his palace, everything, all the comforts that he has, and without complaining even a single thing, he goes, and to keep his father's word, he goes to the forest. So this is something we all have to also know, that sometimes when our parents, they cannot keep their promises for any reason, and they say that, oh, I'll buy you something, but next day they may not be able to buy. We should not throw a fit, because at the bottom we all should know that our parents always love us. They always want good for us. Sometimes they may not be able to fulfill, but we should not be conditionally loving them, like, oh, when you give me what I want, then only I love you. If you don't give me what I want, then I'm not going to love you. Lord Rama doesn't do that. Lord Rama was equally happy when Maharaj Dasarath said that, tomorrow I'm going to make you king of this entire kingdom. And at the next day, he called Lord Rama and said, you have to go to the forest. By giving up all these comforts, Lord Rama did not complain. He did not develop anger, vengeance, or anything against anybody, not even against Kaikeya. Everybody suggests him, Lakshmana, Mother Kausalya, everybody suggests him to protest this. But Lord Rama does not do that. He simply accepts, and he fulfills his father's word. Because Lord Rama agreed to go to the forest, he was able to fulfill his father, and he did not let his father get a bad name that Maharaj Dasrath never keeps his promises. So this is how obedient we all should be to our parents, because the bottom line is that sometimes whatever the suggestions the parents may give may go wrong. Sometimes they may go wrong, but their intentions are always right. They always want best for you. They always want good for us. And they have seen the life. So with their experience, they try to advise us something. And if you see something in that, you have to sit and talk, but we should not disrespect them or disobey them at any point of time, unless they are going in very, very wrong way, like against Krishna or something. So this is something we should learn from Lord Rama's pastime. Maybe I'll pause here and I will talk about all the pastimes happened when Lord Rama went to the forest and how did what happen. Next time, if ever I get a chance to meet you all, because it's getting late, maybe all of you also have to go to the temples or celebrate Ramanavami celebrations. I will teach you all this sloka. Can you all repeat after me?
Ragapati Raghava.
Can you all repeat after me? Apadamapahartaram. Apadamapahartaram. Dataram sarvasampadam. Apadamapahartaram. दातारं सर्वसम्पदाम् आपदामपहर्तारम् दातारं सर्वसम्पदाम्
सर्वसम्पदां
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामम् लोकाभिरामं
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामम्
लोकाभिरामं
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामम्
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं
भूयो 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 नमाम्यहम् लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामम्
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं
भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् आपदामपहर्तारम्
आपदामहत्तारं
दातारं सर्वसम्पदाम्
दातारं सर्वसम्पदां
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामम्
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं
भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्
नमाम्यहम्
One more time I will say आपदामपहर्तारम्
आपदामहत्तारं
दातारं सर्वसम्पदाम्
दातारं सर्वसम्पदां
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामम्
लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं
भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् I want one person to read the translation.
And Jyotsna read,
Go ahead.
I pay my respect.
Govinda, after Govinda and Manhar afterwards. Go ahead, Josna.
I pay my respects or salutations to Sri Rama, who is the remover of troubles and the bestower of all wealth, and one who is the Lord of all worlds.
Very good. Go ahead, Govinda. Say the sloka translation.
Translation.
Mm-hmm.
I pay my respects of salute to Sri Ram, who is
the remover of troubles?
Remover of troubles and the bestower all wealth
and one Okay. Who else has raised? I see Sagar. Did you raise your hand?
Can I try?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. If anybody wants to say sloka also, go ahead.
Salutations to Rama.
Mataji,
can Suraj do
Yeah, go ahead, Suraj and Tejas. First Suraj and Tejas, and then I'll go to Arushi. Okay? Suraj, go ahead. Apadam. Okay, Suraj. So, Suraj, can you repeat after me? Apadamapahattaram. Mapa? Dataram. Sampadam. Lokaviramam.
Shriramam. Bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham.
Very good. Tejas? Translation.
Can I say the translation?
Go ahead, Tejas. Go ahead and say the translation.
Can I say both?
Yeah, go ahead.
I pay my respects of solutions to Sri Rama, who is the remover of all troubles and bestower of all wealth, and one who is the Lord of all worlds.
Okay.
My salutations to Rama, who is
No, you
also
said that
known.
shloka. No, not the second one. You said you want to say the shloka, right? Top
No.
shloka.
No.
Oh, only translations? Okay.
Yeah.
Just I will teach that, then you can say that. Okay. Who else? I see Diya. Okay, go ahead, Diya.
Yeah.
And Arushi. Sorry, Arushi and then Diya. Arushi and Diya.
Should I read the translations or the sloka?
Whichever you want. What you want.
I pay my respects or salutations to Sri Rama, who is the remover of troubles and the bestower of all wealth, and one who is the Lord of all worlds.
So in the shloka, apadamapahattaram, that apada means troubles. So Lord Rama removes all the troubles. Dataram sarva sampadam, gives all the wealth. Lokabhiramam, he is the king of all the three worlds, ruler of the three worlds. Sri Ramam, bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham, I pay my obeisances to him. So I see Diya and Janu also. Okay, go ahead.
Mataji, can I read both of them?
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Kanna. Go ahead.
But I need help.
Okay, I'll do. Apadamapahartaram. Apada. Mapahartaram. There is no pa. Don't stretch the pa there. Mapahartaram.
Mapahartaram.
Dataram.
Dataram.
Sarvasampadam.
Sarvasampadam.
Lokabhiramam.
Lokabhiramam.
Sri Ramam.
Sri Ramam.
Bhuyo bhuyo. Bhuyo bhuyo.
Bhuyo bhuyo.
Namamyaham. Namamyaham.
Namamyaham.
Very good. Very good.
I pay my respects or salutations to Sri Rama, who is the remover of troubles and the bestower of all wealth, and one who is the Lord of all worlds.
Very good. Very good. Good job. Janu, go ahead, Kanna.
I actually have a question.
What are
the three worlds?
Oh, the whole universe is divided into the three worlds. So every universe has 14 planets. So Earth is in middle, and all the heavenly planets are considered as one Earth, and all the lower planetary systems are considered as a group. So these are the three worlds that is been spoken. Okay.
Wait, what are the three worlds?
Earth, heaven, and the Lord, like the hell.
So all the heavenly planets, Tapa, Jana, Sat, all of them, Swarga, are considered as the higher planetary systems, Earth and lower planetary systems. So these are the three worlds. Did you get that?
What is the lower planetary system? I have one question. What is the lower of the planetary system?
There are 7 planets in the lower planetary system, Govinda, Patala, Rasatala, all those things come under that. Okay. Someday we will talk about that also, if Krishna desires. So this is what it is. So I was thinking, I will quickly tell the second shloka on Lord Rama also. If you all desire to recite today, you all can recite. I will quickly send the audio of these two also to Mataji so that she can give it to you all. You can play that audio and learn these shlokas and pay your obeisances to Lord Rama. Once you surrender to Lord Rama, He never leaves to protect you. He will be always there to protect you. So that committed is Lord Rama. So the next one, Ramaya. Can you all repeat? Ramaya.
Ramaya.
Ramabhadraya. Ramachandraya. Vedase. Raghunathaya. Nathaya. Sitaya. Pataye Namaha. Very good. I see all of you are reciting. Very, very good. Now close your eyes. Close your eyes. Think of Lord Rama and then say Ramaya. Ramabhadraya. Ramachandraya. Vedase. Raghunathaya. Nathaya. Sitaya. Pataye Namaha. I am so happy. I'm so impressed by you all. You're all really closing your eyes and saying. So one more last line, kids. Close your eyes. Think of Lord Rama and let's do this. Okay, now let's go. Ramaya. Ramabhadraya. Ramachandraya. Vedase. Raghunathaya. Nathaya. Sitaya. Pataye Namaha. Very good. Very good. May Lord Ramachandra bless you all with his causeless mercy, and may Lord Ramachandra give protection to you all and your family members too. Did you all like the stories?
Yeah.
Good. All of you can give me a high five for doing a wonderful job. A virtual high five. Okay, Tejas is giving me with both hands, so I'm giving you with both hands. Very good. Myra, both hands. Janu, both hands. Very good. Very good. Just love you all so much. Bhuvanesh and Netra. Who is Bhuvanesh and who is Netra? Bhuvanesh, you are so excited. Take the high five. Very good. Very good. Tejas, my hands are hurting. You're giving me very hard ones. Dia, high five. Very good, Kana. Very good. Govinda, very good. Manhar, very good. All of you did an awesome job.
Happy Shri
Yashika. Okay, Yashika, thank you. Happy Sri Ramanavami. May you all be blessed always.
Happy Shri Mataji.
Yes?
But who is the mother of Lakshmana do?
The mother of Lakshmana is Sumitra. Sumitra.
Thank you, Mataji. Bye.
Thank you. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sitaram. Okay, Govinda, are you happy? You have been singing that.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for a very, very wonderful session you take.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Mataji.
No, Mataji, it's our pleasure. We listen up very nectarian stories of Lord Rama and very nice 2 shlokas we learned, Mataji. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha
Jai
Kripa
Krishna.
Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Sri Ramachandra ki jai. Sita Ram Hashmana Hanuman ki jai.
Mataji ki jai.